Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Notes Valley. In this video, we are going to complete the last chapter of physics, that is waves. The PDF of notes is available in description box. Go and check now. So without wasting any time, let's start and have a look at the main concepts of the chapter. Firstly, we are going to study about wave motion, and wave motion is a kind of disturbance which travels through a medium due to repeated periodic motion of the particle of the medium about its mean position. Then we have waves. Waves are the physical patterns which move without the actual transfer or flow of matter as a whole, and waves are carrier of energy. Mainly there are three kinds of waves. The first one is mechanical waves, also called material waves because they need a medium for their propagation, and these are governed by Newton's laws of motion. The second one is electromagnetic waves, which we have studied in very detail in the chemistry chapter number 2, structure of atom. Electromagnetic waves don't require any medium for their propagation. And the third one is matter waves. These are the waves which are associated with microscopic particles such as electrons, protons, neutrons and atoms. And these are also called de Broglie waves. The next one is characteristics of wave motion, which you have to study and understand yourself. The next is spring model for propagation of wave, and through the spring model we can explain the propagation of sound waves or material waves through the air and through a solid. The next one is types of wave motion, and there are mainly two kinds of wave motion. First is transverse wave motion and second one is longitudinal wave motion. So to understand the transverse wave motion and longitudinal wave motion, firstly we have to understand what are transverse waves and what are longitudinal waves. A transverse wave is a kind of wave in which the constituents of medium oscillate perpendicular to the direction of wave propagation. The transverse waves are those waves which travel in the form of crest and trough, because crest and troughs are formed to the direction perpendicular to the propagation of wave. And next one is essential medium for the propagation of transverse waves. As the transfer waves involves a change in shape of medium, so there should be a medium which have rigidity, which implies that it must have modulus of rigidity. So the transverse waves can be formed in solids and strings and ropes, but it cannot be formed in fluids. But due to the surface tension, the transverse waves can be formed over the surface of water. The next is longitudinal waves. These oscillate and propagate in the direction of wave propagation, and these travel in the form of compression and rarefaction. Compression is the high pressure region, whereas rarefaction is the low pressure region. The longitudinal waves can be formed in any medium. And next we have some important definitions. Most of them we already know and already studied. First one is wavelength. It can be defined in many ways, so here are only two ways, that is distance between two consecutive crest or trough, or it is the length of a single wave, and its SI unit is meter. The symbol is lambda. Then we have time period, which is represented by capital T, and it is the time taken to complete one oscillation. Its SI unit are second. And then we have frequency, which is actually the number of waves produced per unit time, and its SI unit are hertz, after the name of the scientist Heinrich Hertz. Next is angular frequency, which is the rate of change of phase with time, and its SI unit is radian per second. Then wave number, which is the reciprocal of wavelength, and it is represented by nu bar. Its SI unit is meter, but commonly used unit is centimeter. Now we have next quantity, angular wave number, which is also known as propagation constant. Its symbol is K, and it is the phase change per unit path difference. Its SI unit is radian per meter. Then we have wave or phase velocity. It is the distance covered by a wave per unit time in its direction of propagation, and its SI unit are also meter per second. Nextly, there is a relation between lambda, velocity and nu. The relation is V is equals to nu lambda. Water can also have two types of waves, which are capillary waves and gravity waves, and it is your work to find the difference between the two. Now we are going to see the speed of transverse waves and their formula. Speed of a transverse wave in a solid is given by under the root eta by rho, where eta is the modulus of rigidity and rho is the density of medium. If the transverse waves are forming on a stretched string, the velocity is given by under the root T by m, where T is the tension in the string and m is not the mass, it is mass per unit length. Now moving forward, there is speed of longitudinal waves. In a solid rod, the speed of longitudinal wave is given by under the root y by rho, where y is the Young's modulus and rho is the density. But if the longitudinal wave is traveling in a solid, its velocity is given by under the root k plus 4 by 3 into eta divided by rho, where k is the bulk modulus, eta is the modulus of rigidity, and rho is the density of that solid. In a liquid or gas, the speed of a longitudinal wave is given by under the root k by rho, where k is the bulk modulus and rho is the density of fluid. The next is Newton's formula for speed of sound. Newton assumed that the sound wave is longitudinal and it travels isothermally, but later this assumption proved to be wrong because the answer did not come correct. Then another scientist named Laplace corrected the Newton's formula by giving some assumptions and justifications. So said that the sound wave travels adiabatically. It was verified that the Laplace formula for speed of sound is correct, which is given by under the root k adia divided by rho, which is equivalent to under the root gamma p divided by rho. We know that gamma is the ratio of specific heats. Then there is factors affecting speed of sound in a gas. So you have to study these yourself, and if there is any problem you can report me in the comment section. Firstly, there is effect of pressure, then effect of density, then effect of humidity. The next is effect of temperature, then effect of wind, which is based on the resolution of vectors concept, and lastly effect of frequency and amplitude. The next topic is progressive wave, and progressive wave is a kind of wave which travels continuously through a medium in a particular direction without change in its amplitude. Nextly, we have find out the equation of a progressive wave, which you can see yourself and practice it by heart. In order to find the equation of a progressive wave, you need to know the relation between path difference and the phase difference, and by differentiating we get the velocity and acceleration of the progressive wave. From the equation of progressive wave, we can also prove that the progressive wave travels simple harmonically. Then we have principle of superposition of waves, and there are some conditions for the superposition, or we can say overlap of waves. If two or more waves are moving together and they overlap, then their energy is redistributed and a new wave is formed. So for overlap, they must have same frequency, and when the waves are in phase, there is constructive interference, and when the waves are out of phase, there is destructive interference, which we have already studied in the chapter Structure of Atom of Chemistry. The next topic is analytical treatment of interference, in which we are only finding out the wavelength of the resultant wave after interference. When the two waves superimpose, they may lead into three different effects. The first effect is the interference of waves, when the waves of same frequency moving with same speed in same direction superimpose on each other. They interfere to give rise to a new wave. But when the two waves of same frequency and same speed are moving in opposite direction and they overlap on each other, they produce a stationary wave, and the stationary wave does not move in any direction. And the third effect is when two waves of slightly different frequencies and moving with same speed overlap and they are also moving in same direction, they produce beats. We have already studied about the definition of stationary wave and when are they formed. and these are also called standing waves. The next is analytical treatment of stationary wave, in which we are going to just find out the equation for the wavelength of stationary wave. Nextly, we have harmonics. So in harmonics, there is a concept of nodes and antinodes. At the antinodes, the wavelength of the wave is maximum, and at the nodes, the wavelength is 0. And we can make any number of harmonics, and at the end of video I will show you the harmonics that I have constructed. For the first harmonic, length of a string should be lambda 1 divided by 2, which means half of the wavelength. Similarly, you can find out the length of string for the second, third and successive harmonics. And in general case, we can say that if the string vibrates in p segments, then its frequency should be p into nu. Now we are going to talk about nodes and antinodes. Nodes are point of zero amplitude, and these points are under maximum strain. In nth mode of vibration, there are n plus 1 nodes, and antinodes are those positions which are under minimum strain and they have maximum amplitude. In nth mode of vibration, they have n antinodes. Now there are beats, and we have already studied what beats are. Beat frequency is given by the nu1 minus nu2. The next is Doppler effect, and it is same just as the relative velocity concept and relative position concept that we have studied in the initial chapters of physics. Mainly there are three cases. First case, when the source moves and the observer is stationary, and the source can move towards or away from the stationary observer. The second case is the observer is moving towards or away from the stationary source, and the case 3 is both the source and observer are moving, but it has two sub cases. If they both are moving towards each other or both of them are moving away from each other, then you have to look at the time period, frequency and velocity for these cases. This is going to be very much interesting. You have to just understand. And there's also a special case in which the medium is also moving with certain speed. Now we are going to see some important definitions which are not very important from the examination point of view. The first one is music, and the music is that sound which has a pleasing sensation to the ears, and the noise which has a non-pleasing sensation to the ears. Next is characteristics of musical sounds. First is loudness, then pitch, then quality, which is also called timbre. You can also see that there are many concepts which we have already studied in the sound chapter in class 9th physics. Nextly, there is reverberation. Reverberation is the persistence of audible sound after the source has stopped to emit the sound. And then last definition is acoustics. Acoustic is that branch of science which deals with methods of production, reception and propagation of sound. Now I am going to show you people the harmonics that I have constructed. So you can see I have drawn first harmonic, second harmonic, third harmonic, fourth harmonic and fifth harmonic. Here are the differences between a progressive wave and a stationary wave. It is many times asked in the exam, so you must remember it. So guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.